Hello again. Well, it's a month since I was here last, and as you can see, things have moved on quite a bit. There's also been some interesting changes to the build, like the pads to support the covered roadway. When the engineers saw the sheer scale of the canopy, they realised it would act like a giant sail. So the bolts to support the columns had to be bigger, a lot bigger. The solution: simply remove the old pads and replace them with the same sets of bolts as the rest of the foundation. Quicker, stronger, and more importantly, it kept the build on track. So how did all this happen so quickly? Let's find out. The whole frame is made up of 2,000 pre-formed sections. Each one has been custom made. These 1.5-ton stanchions are lowered onto steel shims like these, so the entire frame is flexible. It's then lined up and levelled. Each part of the frame has to be manoeuvred into place and then bolted together. Not an easy task when you're 40 feet in the air in a small metal basket. Steel erectors will use around 12,000 of these nuts and bolts to assemble this giant Meccano set to make sure that 180 tons of steel stay in the right place for a very long time to come. But before anything else can happen, the whole building has to be lined up and levelled. This is done by skilled engineers, adjusting these bolts and using steel wedges where necessary. When it's complete, the supports could be set in stone, or rather a special non-shrink grout, as Matt Finch, the FSL site supervisor, can show us.
Right, we pour the holes up to the top level on the inside first before we put the shutter around. The reason for that is so we make sure we don't get any air pockets. Then what we do is we slide the shutter in place. And then pour the grout in above the whole steels. And that secures all the top bolts, the threads and everything in place. There's a hole around the back there as well where we fill up, so we make sure we get it under the centre of the columns, making sure we've got no air pockets. Like so. And that's it. Grouted and finished.
But while this is all going on, of course, work carries on. The roof area has to be netted, so that if someone does slip while they're working up there, they don't wind up down here. Next time, we'll see how the skin of the building is grafted on and how 500 cubic metres of concrete is turned into a floor to support the contents of 200 50-ton trucks. I look forward to seeing you then.